Code Pink, Noor and Medea.
Hi everyone, my name is Noor and I'm here representing Code Pink, a feminist-led organization rejecting imperialism everywhere. I'm happy to see you all coming today in support for Palestinian liberation. And I want to start with a text from my friend Mohammed, who is currently in northern Gaza. He says, "We are living in horror here. I'm sitting at home. I expect that at any moment missiles from Israeli occupation aircrafts will fall on us. I hear the sound of missiles coming from above our house." One of the most prominent questions we need to ask ourselves right now is why can we hear these words and these first-hand accounts from Gaza, yet the genocide still continues? Why do only 18 representatives and 1 senator support a ceasefire? And why is Biden insistent upon funding this genocide? The answer is simple. Palestinians have been stripped of their humanity to justify this genocide. Code Pink, as a feminist organization, has seen for 20 years how Arab and Muslim women are used as political pawns by imperialists. But we see through their propaganda. Palestinian women are committed to life and dignity. They are not human shields. They are the vanguard for liberation. Don't be mistaken in thinking the IOF is strategically targeting Palestinian resistance fighters or that this is some sort of religious issue. Palestinians are being murdered simply for being Palestinian. Palestine is a home for people across all faiths, and Netanyahu has declared war on every single one of them. Like I said, Palestinians are being murdered simply for being Palestinian. But the Western media will mislead you to think otherwise by weaponizing Islamophobia against them. Shame! The U.S. used this strategy to justify the war on terror after 9/11, and they're doing it again now because it worked. It allowed the U.S. to murder nearly 5 million people with no accountability. Shame! So I ask Biden, is this how you want to be remembered? As a genocidal, destructive warmonger? Shame! Look at this crowd. Clearly the American people do not agree with your genocidal plans. You must call for a ceasefire now or solidify your position as one of the most inhumane presidents in American history. The American people demand a ceasefire, an end to the occupation, and the full liberation of Palestine. Mohammed told me the only thing that makes him happy is knowing we are by his side. And I promised I would never give up on the fight for his safety and for a free Palestine. And I would like you all to make that promise to him as well. So please repeat after me. Dear Mohammed, I promise. We promise. To never stop fighting. For you. And for a free Palestine. From the river. To the sea. Thank you, everybody.
We now want to invite, all the way from Minnesota, Meredith from the Anti-War Committee.
Hello, people from Minnesota. We drove for 20 hours straight through the night so we could be here with you. We think it's imperative to be a part of a national movement, to stand up together, to say that the U.S. does not support the ethnic cleansing of Gaza. I know that the media has spent a lot of time talking about the giant protests around the world, but I think it's important for you to know that we have had the largest protests of tens of thousands of people in Minnesota that we have had since the murder of George Floyd. In fact, fact, just this week on Wednesday, Genocide Joe came to Minnesota, and we called him Genocide Joe at the airport. We called him Genocide Joe at the farm he went to. We called him Genocide Joe in the streets of Minneapolis, where thousands of people gathered to protest him. And anti-Zionist Jews got into his fundraiser and disrupted his fundraiser. In order to genocide this brutal, disgusting war, we must end financial support for Israel's war on Palestinians. And this can be done on the federal level, the state level, the local level, even the campus level. In Minnesota, we have discovered that $800 million of state worker pensions, including my own, are invested in supporting Israeli apartheid. And so we are a part of a large grassroots movement to say no. Minnesota does not want to support weapons. We don't want to support apartheid, and we do not support ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. Last week, as a part of our work, we took over Representative Betty McCollum's office from St. Paul. She has been a friend to this movement for years, but she sold us out the past 3 weeks. If you are a friend to this movement, you need to be a friend to this movement at the most dire moment. And so it is important for us to keep up our pressure, whether or not we're in D.C., whether or not we're in New York, whether or not we're in Minnesota, because together we need a chant. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thank you very much. You're beautiful.
Next up, we have Dr. Osama Abu-Rashed from American Muslims for Palestine.
Assalamu alaikum. I want to salute each and every one of you for your steadfastness, for your resilience, for your commitment to the Palestinian rights. Let us keep this pressure on. Let us keep this pressure on. The reason why this genocide White House, why this complicit Congress, why the warmongering media just shifted their tone in relation to the brutality, to the genocide is taking place in Gaza, is because your voices have been heard. It is because of your actions and advocacy. It is not that, God forbid, that they had a sudden conscious awakening. They don't have a conscience. What they understand is pressure. What they understand is that we call them out. What they understand is that the people are unified. And we are unified in our position to bring this genocide in Gaza to a complete and immediate end now. Because we're effective, they're trying to intimidate us. Because we are effective, they are trying to silence us. And because we are effective, they're trying to accuse our collective voices for justice as being anti-Semitic. I mean, we have brothers and sisters from the Jewish community here amongst us. Let us salute them. We salute you. We know you stand on moral grounds. We know that you stand for your humanity. And we stand with you in our humanity. We're not going to be intimidated. Yes, from the outset, anti-Semitism is immoral. Islamophobia is immoral. Any form of hate and bigotry is immoral. But you know what is more immoral and evil? To conflate our condemnation of Israel and its genocide policies with anti-Semitism. To conflate our opposition to Israel as an apartheid state as anti-Semitism. To fuel Islamophobia under the pretext of pushing back against anti-Semitism. To deny the tremendous suffering of the Palestinian people who are being subjected to a brutal genocide by our own tax money, by our own weapons. To dehumanize the Palestinian people. To undermine their suffering. To subscribe to selective humanity. To use debunked lies about beheaded Israeli children to justify the beheading of Palestinian children. To condone and justify the bombings and the murders of Palestinians in hospitals, in their homes, in UN schools, in ambulances and hospitals by weapons and bombs made by the United States of America. To make us all complicit as Americans in the war crimes and genocide that is committed and being committed now in Palestine. And you know what is more immoral and dumb? Is to expect that we will forget in November 2024. To think that we're just going to elect you and vote for you just because you're not the other Republican guy. We refuse this analogy to choose between dying with a bullet or with a poison. We refuse to stand with a president who lied to us that he's coming to restore America's moral authority. If this is your moral authority, then the hell with you and your moral authority. Moral authority. Moral authority is a human equality. Moral authority is freedom. Moral authority is dignity for all. Moral authority is not to vote to liars, to war criminals, to warmongers. That's what moral authority is. Keep the fight on. Don't give up on their resilience in Palestine. They're not raising the white flag in Gaza. They're not begging for mercy from their oppressor. They're demanding justice and freedom. And freedom which will receive. That's what's going to be achieved. Freedom is coming. This is inevitable. Palestine, wallah, by whatever Lord you worship, is going to be free. It's going to be free. Apartheid will be dismantled. Imperialism will be defeated. And liars will lose the elections, inshallah.
We're going to get ready to march, but not yet. We're going to bring up Dr. Nuder Edicott. Look at us. Look at these thousands and thousands of people of conscience gathered in love and rage. We are united by our humanity. We are united by our commitment to humanity, our absolute refusal to let Western powers and Israel bury it beneath their depraved pursuit of wealth and privilege. We are placing our bodies on the railroad track intimidation, censorship, outright lies about pictures that do not exist. Denial of our dead, whose bodies have not had the dignity of burial, whose beloveds have not had the solace of mourning. And still we gather. We are all here to charge this administration with genocide. Even though the majority of the world, the majority of Americans support an immediate end to the carnage and destruction of Gaza, only 6 out of 535 members of this cowardly, decrepit Congress have endorsed a ceasefire. Every single human rights instrument ever drafted was meant to prevent these atrocities. The Genocide Convention, the Rome Statute, the Geneva Convention, the Convention on the Rights of the Child, the Apartheid Convention, they were all drafted to avoid this moment, and they could not have possibly fathomed that a nuclear power backed by an even bigger nuclear power would be pummeling a besieged population of refugees and children. They could not have fathomed that it would have come after 17 years of siege by a racist settler colonial state that has ethnically cleansed our people for 75 years and still have the audacity to cry victim. Israel and the United States are jointly complicit in the ongoing Nakba in Palestine. Together, they are rendering international law worthless and irrelevant. Every single tribunal, from Nuremberg to Rwanda, from Bosnia to Cambodia, every prosecution at the ICC was meant to atone for our moral failures, to protect us from ourselves, and today we fail to stop. Today we fail to stop the skies from crashing down in white phosphorus flames onto Palestinian dreams, memories, potential, onto Palestinian babies, not old enough to beseech you to have mercy upon them. We are here now with them and for them to demand a ceasefire. We are here because Palestine reveals the naked hypocrisy of Western universalism. It reveals our enduring colonial reality, and it offers a glimpse into a future without colonialism. Palestine, where a valiant people have always existed, where survivors and fighters continue to affirm that they belong to a land upon which there is a life worth living. على هذه الأرض يستحق الحياة. على هذه الأرض سنزرع المستقبل. We are like olive trees, like the ones that our ancestors planted. We, liable, stand with us in this promise. We promise, Palestine still promises, that we will all be free. Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free! Free Palestine!
Next up, speaking of freedom and liberation, we have Majid Gadsden from the December 12th movement. Make some noise.
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine!
My comrades and I are here to give a statement from the December 12th movement, a Pan-African human rights organization. Are you ready? Are you ready? No?
Alright guys, I'll take this time to get on here, and if you can still hear me, I'm not sure how the stream is, but please do smash the like button. There are definitely over 50,000 people here. Not sure if we're at 100,000, but there's thousands of people here. Biggest rally I've ever seen. It's going to be a big march. If you're not a member of Status Quo already,
free Palestine.
Statusquo.com/join.
Free Palestine.
We cannot do this without you.
Free
So
Palestine.
please become a member of Status Quo. Statusquo.com/join.
Free Palestine. Peace, family. My comrades and I are here to give a brief statement from the December 12th movement, which is a Pan-African human rights organization. More than 10,000 murdered civilians. Up to 4,000 of that murdered children. More than 10,000 in prison. Over 1 million refugees. Gaza is being reduced to rubble as we speak. We, the December 12th movement, stand in solidarity with the people of Palestine. This war didn't start on October 7th. It started in 1948 by the Zionist settler colony called Israel. For over 70 years, Palestinians have been oppressed, displaced, and murdered while living in Palestine. Palestinians have a right to resist their daily terroristic oppression from Israel. Israel is a settler colony, and settler colonies are historically violent. And we stand against that. The Pan-African community remembers the time when the Palestinian people came to the aid of our native South African brothers and sisters in the fight against the apartheid regime in South Africa. At that moment,
We need a medic this way, please. We need a medic to where I'm pointing. Can y'all wave the flag where a medic is needed? Thank you, y'all. Thank you. We're good. Thank you for keeping us safe. Who keeps us safe? Thank you, brother.
all right. At that moment in history, you were in a struggle of your own for your liberation. We also remember you were friends of Nelson Mandela. As of October the 7th, Israel has blatantly violated the Geneva Conventions. Our Palestinian brothers and sisters, we got your back. The people united will never be defeated. 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 The people united will never be defeated.
Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Takbir! Allahu Akbar!
1, 2, 3, 4. Open up the prison doors.
1, 2, 3, 4. Open up the prison doors.
each other. It's a long day. We're out here in the streets. We want to stay out here in the streets. We're going to bring up our comrade Nina from Bayon. Please make some noise. It is breathtaking and humbling and amazing to be here with you all today. So make some noise for yourselves. From the ranks of anti-imperialists and progressive Filipinos across the United States and around the world, Bayan USA is here with you all today in D.C. to condemn the collective punishments of the Zionist settler colonial state of Israel on Gaza. We Filipinos are here to call for a ceasefire and end to genocide. We Filipinos are here to call for an end to the ongoing Nakba and occupation of Palestine. And best believe we Filipinos are here wholeheartedly and unequivocally in solidarity with the national liberation of Palestine. Because when we say from the river to the sea, we mean all of Palestine, not just Gaza, not just the West Bank, but all of Palestine for the Palestinian people. As Filipinos, we know what it is like to struggle against foreign occupation and domination, what it is like to fight for national liberation across generations. For centuries, the Philippines was colonized by Spain, then colonized by the United States, and up to today remains a U.S. neo-colony. And today, the United States uses its puppets in Israel and the Government Republic of the Philippines to assert its geopolitical and economic interests in the Middle East and Southeast Asia. The Philippines is the third largest buyer of weapons from Israel. Both the IDF and the armed forces of the Philippines are heavily armed, funded, and trained by the United States. As Filipinos, we are here to say, end Philippine support for Israel, end U.S. military aid to the Philippines, and end U.S. military aid to Israel. Because Philippine and Palestinian liberation are inextricably linked because we have a common enemy. To revolutionary courage. It is not enough to mobilize once or twice as individuals, but we must build fighting mass organizations. If you're not in an organization, join one or build one. Building people power through sustained collective action is our best defense against repression and oppression. Courage is forged in the hearts of the oppressed, the hearts of the oppressed who dare rise up together. So let us link arms across our movements and build anti-imperialist solidarity. In the Philippine movement, we have a beloved chant that dates back to the 60s against the Marcos dictatorship. It roughly translates to dare to struggle, do not be afraid, or makibaka, wag matakot. So I ask you all to raise your fists, to raise your flags, and learn this chant with me, because we should remind ourselves From Palestine to the Philippines. Stop the U.S. war machine. Thank you.
We now want to invite, coming from New Jersey, Rana Mustafa from the Palestinian American Community Center.
It's been 28 days since most of us have been able to take a real deep breath. It's been 28, medic, right? I think that's what we need, a medic. Medic? Who needs a medic? Over there, please. The medics are on their way, I see them. Please head to where those people are. Please wave, thank you. It's been 28 days since most of us have been able to take a deep breath. It's been 28 days since most of us have actually had some sleep. It's been 28 days of us being glued to our phones, waiting on the next update, waiting to hear from social media, waiting from that text from our loved one or friend. It's been 28 days of our emotions filled with grief and encompassed by guilt. It's been 28 days since we realized that we have to convince the world of our humanity. To many of us, we've realized that to the world we are lesser than. To many, we don't deserve life and self-determination like any human being deserves. For years, we were silenced, forced to be okay with the bare minimum. Those days are long over. 9,527 people in Gaza and 3,826 children. Of them, if 3,826 children have been murdered. The last 28 days have changed most of us permanently, and the thought of ever going back to normal is long gone. We have to keep working together. We have to keep working together. The tides are turning. They are feeling our boycotts. They are hearing our voices. Officials are resigning. Reporters are speaking up. People are listening and hearing the truth, and they are saying no to genocide. Each of you will go home. Each of you will return to your friends and family and community, and that is where the work must continue. Each of us must ask, what can I do? How can I make this stronger? This movement stronger? Enough is enough. We need to call for a ceasefire now, and we need to keep working on it today, tomorrow, and always until there's a free Palestine. Free Palestine!
We now want to salute the resistance of the indigenous people of this land. We welcome to the stage our dear sister, Crystal Tubals of Honor the Earth.
My name's Crystal Tubals. I'm Oglala Lakota, Northern Cheyenne. I come from Lakota and Cheyenne territories in what's now called Montana, South Dakota. I'm here with my little sisters, Siam, Takaya, and little brother, Denzel, who's coming from what's now known as British Columbia. We come to you today as people who recognize in our spirits that we share a story. And like you, we know who we come from and where we come from. We were blessed to be raised in our communities with our traditional teachings and on our lands. And because of that, we know that we are relatives in so many beautiful ways. Our journeys connected us with the Palestinian struggle years ago when our leaders from the American Indian movement met with the leaders of the PLO. Palestinians showed up. Palestinians showed up and held security at Wounded Knee occupation in 1973. And when our people started to attend the United Nations, it was Palestinians who showed us the ropes. They came to our territories in so-called British Columbia and offered tactical skills training to our people. For me personally, it was Standing Rock, where I recognized our deep connection, and that sealed my relationship deep into my heart and spirit with Palestinian people. We are here today as people who descend from warriors and survivors of attempted genocide. But we weren't supposed to be here today. We weren't supposed to survive this settler colonial project. They tried to massacre us. We have stories about the atrocities that they did to our people, cutting off body parts of men and women, parading them through the streets on necklaces and spears. They tried to kill our life sources. They tried to take out the buffalo and the salmon and contaminate our waters. They forcibly removed us from our lands and chased us down like animals when we tried to return home. They sterilized our women and kidnapped our children and tried to kill the Indian and save the man. And when they failed, because they failed, they now try to silence us and erase us from the history books. But we are still here, and we survived. And to my Palestinian relatives, so will you. We will survive because we belong to the land. We will survive because we are the land. The land knows you, and the land will call you home. Until then, my dear relatives, as an Oglala woman, as a Northern Cheyenne woman, as a Tlaman woman, a Stalo woman, a Nichanoth woman, a Gitsan man, we commit to carrying your struggle as our own. We are stronger together, and there is nothing our oppressors can do that will ever sever that relationship.
We have a strong message for the true anti-Semites that are in the U.S. Congress and in the White House. We are the true friends of the Jewish people. But we are enemies of Zion.
Hello, my name is Richie Marino. I'm with Workers World, and I'm also with the Bronx Anti-War Coalition. And I'm very proud to be reading a speech prepared by Neturei Karta International for the rally in Washington, D.C. on Saturday, November 4th, 2023. With the help of the Almighty, Assalamu Alaikum, due to religious restrictions of the Jewish Sabbath, we apologize that we cannot speak to you using the microphone, but we want to use this opportunity to express our solidarity with the suffering and persecuted people of Gaza and Palestine. We are here today representing the Jewish religion and religious Jewish communities true to their religion worldwide. To voice our horror and to condemn the horrific genocide of innocent men, women, and children occurring now in Gaza, and the ongoing brutal occupation of Palestine for over 75 years. Since the inception of Zionism in the late 19th century, masses of Jewish people and the rabbinical leaders worldwide, including in the occupied Palestine, oppose Zionism and the very concept of the State of Israel, and to the present day condemn all of its atrocities. The very existence of the State of Israel, the ongoing occupation, including all brutal atrocities since its very beginning in 1948, are a violation of Judaism and are criminal and barbaric. According to Jewish belief, Jews are forbidden to create their own state since God placed them in exile, and they are forbidden to end this divine decree of exile by any physical means. This is especially the case with respect to killing and occupying, both of which are totally forbidden in the Jewish religion. Jews are required to live as loyal citizens and peaceful neighbors in the countries where they reside. Muslims and Jews have lived for hundreds of years in Palestine with a beautiful coexistence. The difference of religion was not a reason for conflict. This occupation is ultimately responsible for the ongoing tragic bloodshed today and for over the 100 years of both Arab and Jew. Opposing the Zionist State of Israel is not anti-Jewish and not anti-Semitism. Rather, the State of Israel is the personification of anti-Jewish and anti-Semitism. To end the constant cycle of violence and tragedies, Palestine must be returned to the Palestinians and the Zionist movement must cease. We pray that this should happen peacefully with no more suffering for anyone. Inshallah, at that time we can hope to see the peace that existed in Palestine prior to the invention of Zionism once again restored. One final and very important point. Please never refer to the State of Israel as the Jewish state. That only helps to support and empower the State of Israel. Please refer to it as the Zionist state and to people that support it as Zionists, not as Jews. Assalamu alaikum, a chant, follow me. Judaism, yes. Zionism, no. The State of Israel must go. Viva, viva Palestina! Viva, viva Palestina! Thank you.
From Dream Defenders, Janelle Edwards. Brick by brick, wall by wall, Zionism will fall. Zionism will fall. Brick by brick, wall by wall. Brick by brick, wall by wall. Apartheid will fall. Apartheid will fall. Only in Mayem, in Mayem. Follow
Whoa. What side are you on, my people? What side are you on? We are the freedom side. What side are you on, my people? What side are you on? We are on the freedom side. My name is Jonelle, and I'm the co-executive director at Dream Defenders. We're a national black freedom organization fighting for safety and a good life for all of us. From our inception, the history of our organization has been inextricably tied to the Palestinian liberation struggle. As we fought in the state of Florida after the murder of Trayvon Martin, it was Palestinians who stood next to us. It was Palestinian homes where we strategized, where we planned, and where we took action together. And in 2015, at the leadership of Ahmed Abuznaid, we began taking delegations from across the country to Palestine to continue the long legacy of black and Palestinian solidarity. And through those delegations, I and many other black organizers from the United States saw firsthand the roads Palestinians couldn't drive on, the checkpoints, the settler harassment, the empty tear gas canisters, and the Palestinian children who showed it to us. At the core of what ties the black and Palestinian struggles for liberation together is our unfailing yearning and determination to live freely, unapologetically, and fully. And they will never take that from us. The mainstream media would have you believe that the war on Gaza just started. But we know that's not true. For 75 years, Israel has waged a brutal campaign of terror and enforced a state apartheid on Palestinians. And today we are seeing a genocide happen right in front of our eyes. Our government has the ability to stop a genocide. Our government has the ability to stop a genocide. But instead, they are choosing to fund one. They think they can exhaust us, they think they can wait us out, and that soon we'll move on to the next injustice. But in the coming months, we know they're going to come around asking for our votes. But what are they doing for us today? Universal health care is too expensive. Canceling student debt is too expensive. Everything for the people is too expensive. But when it comes to funding the police, funding militarism, they always cut the check. So until they change the course, we must continue to take action, big and small, to demand an immediate ceasefire, to demand the U.S. stop arming Israel, and to demand a free Palestine. So make the calls, protest, shut down their meetings, stop the ships filled with weapons, and don't let up. The last few weeks have broken me in many ways, in the same ways that I felt when Trayvon Martin was killed. But the last few weeks have also inspired me. From actions in my hometown in Florida to actions across the globe, we cannot let up. The tides are changing, and I know now more than ever, in this lifetime, Palestine will be free. Up with liberation, down with occupation. Up with liberation, down with occupation. Up with liberation, down with occupation. Thank you all.
We are almost ready to march. We have a few more speakers. We were almost ready. Y'all got me? We got us. Next we have Raja Abdelhaq, founder of Al-Quds News and former executive director of Islamic Leaders.
Assalamu alaikum. Brothers and sisters, I'm asked to be very quick, so I'll do my best very quick. But we are at a pivotal moment, not when it comes to the Palestinian cause only. We are at a pivotal moment of the global fight against Western hegemony, Western imperialism, and Western colonialism. This genocide against the Palestinian liberation liberation movement does not only aim to eradicate the Palestinian resistance in Gaza, this genocide aims to eradicate the struggle against capitalism and Western colonialism. Brothers and sisters, the people of Gaza are not standing tall against the genocide, against Israeli occupation. They're standing tall against American imperialism, an imperialism that has destroyed the global South, an imperialism that is acting as a world police where thousands of millions of people are dying for standing up to injustice and to oppression. Israel is not just an occupation. Israel is a settler colonial project that started the day Balfour Declaration promised the Zionist movement the land of Palestine. 1 year after the Balfour Declaration, he said that the aspiration and the wishes of the indigenous people of Palestine are irrelevant, and Zionism, whether it's bad or good, it's for the interest of the Great Britain. 106 years after that, American Congress, exactly on the day of the Balfour Declaration, calls the Palestinians barbaric, gives billions of dollars for Israel to continue its genocide, using the language of Herzl, the father of Zionism, who said that Israel is a rampart of Europe against Asia, an outpost of civilization against barbarism. But guess what? We are the civilized people that are fighting evil. Gaza. And I'll end with this and say that Gaza resembles resistance. Gaza symbolizes dedication and steadfastness. Gaza symbolizes resilience. Gaza resembles the fight against the idea of dignity. We are being asked to be robots that are only good for consumerism, to be customers of the latest phones instead of people who have dignity and pride. So I need all of you today to say that we are Gaza, because if Gaza falls, we fall, and if we fall and Gaza falls, Western imperialism wins, evil win, and the rest of the world will collapse. So I need you to shout from here to the rest of the world that we are Gaza. 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 We are Gaza.
We're going to bring up Ankem from the Malcolm X grassroots movement.
Free the land! Free the land! Free the land! My name is Angel. I am an organizer with the Malcolm X Grassroots Movement, DC chapter. We are an organization of revolutionary new Africans fighting on the behalf of all new Africans and African people throughout the entire globe for self-determination and liberation. I will be reading a statement on behalf of the organization in solidarity with Haiti and Palestine. The Malcolm X Grassroots Movement stands in solidarity with the Palestinian resistance in Gaza and with the Haitian people. We say, hands off Haiti, free Palestine. As the minister Malik Al-Shabazz Malcolm X said, the only way we'll get freedom for ourselves is to identify ourselves with every oppressed people in the world. Haiti and Palestine both suffer from colonialism and imperialism, spearheaded in the shadows by the United States. The U.S. has invested millions of dollars to finance Kenya's police invasion of Haiti.
The paramilitaries that have overrun Haiti are the result of decades of U.S. and UN intervention. They are in service to unelected puppet governments put in place by the U.S. after the 2004 coup that overthrew the progressive government of Jean-Bertrand Aristide. The U.S. also funds, arms, and defends the Zionist entity in the occupied Palestinian territories and sends law enforcement officers from every level of their police state there for specialized training. Metropolitan Police Department here in D.C. being one of those police departments that gets sent to train in Israel to come back here and brutalize, terrorize, and kill black and brown residents in D.C. It is the same repressive tactics that have been used against the Palestinian people since 1948. We call on people inside the empire to oppose U.S. imperialism wherever it manifests. As a colonized nation, also exploited by the white supremacist U.S. empire, New Africans stand in solidarity with the Haitian and Palestinian struggle. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. The Malcolm X grassroots movement asserts the human right of people to self-determination. The U.S. Kenyan invasion of Haiti is a blatant violation of Haiti's sovereignty. The Zionist entity has engaged in a 70-plus-year war of extermination against the Palestinian population. The Zionist entity's honorary consul in Haiti, Gilbert Biago, is currently sanctioned by the Canadian government for arms trafficking and human rights violations in Haiti. We acknowledge that war is a horrible and unjust situation that claims countless lives. It is from this position that we oppose U.S.-backed militarism. The occupation of Palestine was an illegal colonialist project from the very beginning. As long as there is apartheid and occupation, there will be resistance to it. The Malcolm X grassroots movement charges genocide. The Palestinian and Haitian people have a right to defend themselves from genocide by any means necessary. The international problem of U.S. imperialism demands an international solution, a people's movement of all peoples oppressed by the United States. Like our ancestor, Dr. Mutulu Shakur said, stiff resistance and straight ahead. Resisting occupation and genocide is not terrorism. Solidarity with the peoples of Haiti and Palestine. Free the land, free the land, free the land.
We are so close, y'all. From Palestine, we say, end the occupation now! End the occupation now! The people demand ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Are y'all there? Ceasefire now! Next up, we have Nick Tilson and Indian Collective. Make some noise, y'all.
Nick Tilson and Machiapi, Chanteo Washtenape Chuzapalo. I come from the Oglala Lakota Nation. I come from the people of Crazy Horse. I come from the people of Sitting Bull. We captured the American flag in battle at the Battle of Greasy Grass, and we have never returned it to this day. And we have come here to march with you, to stand in solidarity with you. We have come here as a people to represent unity throughout the world in this moment. My mother is a matriarch and a revolutionary from the Oglala Lakota people. My grandfather was a Jewish anti-Zionist organizer who stood with Palestine since the Six-Day War, and he embedded that into my heart. So I am here with you, with my brothers, with my sisters, with my relatives. No matter what they have done to try to wipe us out from history, to try to erase us, to put us through boarding schools, to take our land, to try to take our language. They were not successful. So we are here with you. And in this battle, we will not stop no matter what. In this historical moment, we must remember our ancestors. We must remember our elders who prayed for this moment one day. They prayed, they sacrificed. No matter what they've ever done, it wasn't for nothing, because we will together achieve revolution and the liberation of all of our people everywhere. In our ceremonies, they told us something one time. A message from Crazy Horse. They told us and they asked us, how long are you going to let other people decide the future for your children? Are you not warriors? When I look out on this crowd today, I see warriors. One Cuban revolutionary once said that revolution is not a bed of roses. It is a struggle between the past and the future. My relatives, we are in struggle, therefore we are in revolution. Hokahe!
We now want to invite one of the stalwarts of our movement to free Palestine, one of our historic leaders, Lamis Deek from the Al-Awda Palestine Right to Return Coalition.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. والسلام على أرواح الشهداء والسلام على المقاومة الشريفة الطاهرة. Peace and glory to the martyrs and the freedom fighters who fight for all of our freedom. We are gathered here not by a massacre. We are gathered here by the truth. And all of you who are witnesses to the truth are martyrs. And there is nothing higher nor more glorious than a martyr. And so we say glory to all the martyrs wherever they may be. Allahu Akbar. And Gaza has given us an inescapable truth from which we cannot turn away. And the truth is, the Western world is a lie. The truth is that when they said they were bringing freedom, they were bringing fascism. That when they said they were bringing the only democracy in the Middle East, they were bringing domination and barbaric colonization. That when they said they were the most moral army, they were the most monstrous and murderous that we have seen in modern history. That America's trusted allies is nothing but a cult of torturers. A cult of torturers. What do you call grown men who come from all over the world to torture our children in dungeons in the West Bank? What do you call a people who drop 10.5 pounds of bombs on another people who get only ounces of food and water a day? Genocide Joe knows that Gaza was not the first concentration camp. Genocide Joe was alive when the Zionists built 22 concentration camps through Palestine. Genocide Joe was alive when they negotiated with the U.S. government for their release. We are not here just to speak truth to power, but to implement that truth. And it is not only that we will not vote if they don't stop the genocide, no. We're here to make the inescapable truth inescapable for them. Just today, I'm an attorney. We filed a notice and demand to the members of Congress, letting them know that they will be prosecuted in criminal courts all over the world. That they will be sanctioned like they like to sanction us all over the world. The days of just speaking have ended. So when we tell you do not be afraid, this is about your future. Our words are not empty. 3 weeks ago, we convened an army of lawyers for all of you here and all over the world. And we remind the mainstream media that Joseph Goebbels, the genocide propagandist, was to face trial at Nuremberg before he shanked himself. And we intend to prosecute every media outlet that has mobilized our genocide. In Al-Auda and in the Palestinian Assembly for Liberation, we are so certain of our future. We are preparing for reparations. We are preparing for return. We will dismantle every institution of Zionist violence in the world, from New York to Palestine. Wait! Long live Palestine! Long live Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Are you ready to shut it down? Are you ready to shut it down? Are you ready? Are you ready? Before we go, we have our comrade from Korea. Yuhan from Roboto.
Gaza, don't you cry! Palestine will never die! Gaza, don't you cry! Palestine will never die! Comrades, that is why we are here today, because Palestine will never die! Palestine will live! It is Zionism that is on its deathbed! My name is Shuhyun Park. I am from Noruto for Korean Community Development. We are an organization of anti-imperialist Koreans, and we are here because we stand shoulder to shoulder with the Palestinian people. Let me tell you something we have in common. The year 1948, 2 atrocities happened. In Palestine, the Nakba. In my country, U.S. soldiers burned down our villages to divide us and make 2 Koreas. That is why we have one struggle, the struggle against imperialism, and that is why we are with you here today. Because we know that Palestine will never die. Because they tried to bomb us too and they failed. They burned down 20 of our cities and they lost that war. Israel has tried for a century and they will lose in Palestine. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the sea to the river, Palestine will live forever. Thank you.
We now have, we're almost closing. We're almost ready to march. Are you ready to march? We have with us a leader of the leading revolutionary party in the United States, the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Come, Eugene. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Long live Palestine! Long live Palestine! You know, they always ask us when we go out, they say, will you condemn this and that? Well, I'll tell you what I want to condemn. They've killed tens of thousands of Palestinian people, even before what we've seen now when they've killed thousands of children from two...